Hello, I'm Talar Alexanian. I'm a student trustee for the California State University system and a proud student at Cal State Northridge. And I'm here in strong support of the additional funds for the CSU because it's a thoughtful proposal which would allow thousands of our diverse and eligible students who've been denied access to the CSU to be able to come and attain a degree and a high-quality education just like I have. But one of the most important points that I thought I'd bring up is that without these additional funds, student success is what will truly suffer. If you take a look at the governor's budget, after mandatory costs and compensation pool, it leaves very little room, specifically $14 million towards student success initiatives and completion initiatives, which is why it's critical to receive more funds to go towards those high-impact practices that really achieve a timely graduation rate. And so on behalf of the 460,000 CSU students I represent, I really encourage you to take those into consideration and please be a strong advocate for us. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Darian Johnston. I'm a student of California State University Chico and the Director of Legislative Affairs for Associated Students, and I'm really here to reflect what Talar just shared with you all and, let you know that 64% of our educated workforce in agriculture in the state of California comes out of the CSU, and 3 of those campuses that most of those students come out of include Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, as well as Fresno State and Chico. And our agriculture department has one full-time lecturer compared to one full-time tenure track faculty compared to 14 lecturers. And I know plenty of students who are not able to get the classes they need to graduate on time. And with the funding that the governor has proposed, we won't be able to hit those time to degree and degree completion targets. So I'm asking you to please commit to funding fully the CSU with an additional $97 million. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and committee. My name is Christine Antoine. I'm with CSU San Marcos, and I just wanted to also encourage you to fully fund the CSU budget request. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rebecca Sami, and I'm a recent graduate of Fresno State. Department of Geology. I work with a student advocacy group that organizes students statewide, mostly CSU students. And my group is mostly concerned with accessibility and the quality of education at the CSU. I was a CSU student from 2006 to 2014, so I've seen the changes that defunding has done. And I've also seen the damage that defunding has done. As a result of defunding and a lack of accountability for administration, tuition has gone up, fees have gone up, and students have suffered. Students take out more loans and work more hours now than they did when I started, and as a result, students are having a hard time staying in school. They're also having a very hard time graduating. I ask that you fully fund the CSU, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Christy Baumer representing the California Professional Firefighters, co-sponsors with the State Fire Marshal and California's largest firefighter apprenticeship training program. I just want to mostly compliment you and the body that preceded you for augmenting apprenticeship in last year's budget, which ultimately was stricken from the governor's budget plan. But he saw the wisdom of your action last year and has proposed a restoration to that funding stream. We think maybe a restoration and an increase in that program would do much to continue to improve our economic condition as apprenticeship. As you know, these are workers, these are people working in highly skilled jobs, earning higher wages. Businesses are more profitable, more taxes are being paid, and less unemployment is being collected. So we urge you to retain that and improve and expand upon it, and also to maybe take a harder look at those who might say that you should be decoupling workforce training and development from our higher education system. I think that's where we've gone astray, and there's a whole population of students that can be served with these programs. So we urge your augmentation of the proposal.
My name is Heather Rosen, and I'm a third-year political science major at UCLA. I'm here to ask you to make funding for the UC a priority in this year's budget. I'm the elected Financial Supports Commissioner on the Undergraduate Student Association Council. In my position, I represent the financial needs of an undergraduate population of 29,000. Daily, I witness the struggles students pay in balancing their payments for tuition with other costs such as textbooks, extracurricular activities, or even their next meal. One part-time job cannot cover these increasing costs, so students often must attempt to manage full-time work positions with doing their homework and going to class. As a result, dismissal is becoming more common and postgraduate success is becoming less achievable. What is helping these students so important? Because an investment in us is an investment in the future of the state. California's prosperity is dependent on an educated workforce, and the UC is the means necessary to properly cultivate the next generation of Californians. I urge each and every one of you to think about us, the students, the future of this state. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Catherine Colasar, and I am here today representing the over 6,000 graduate and professional students of the Graduate Student Association and Law Student Associations of UC Davis. Our voice is rarely heard, so I'm happy to be here to have this opportunity. The number one thing that we want to ask you is to please make more funding for UC a priority in the budget. Currently, the average cumulative debt for a PhD student is $75,000 and over $100,000 for professional students, which is 3 to 4 times the undergraduate student debt. Increasing tuition due to decreasing state funding levels will deepen this financial burden. As graduate students, we are also affected by larger class sizes and greater teaching burdens that have occurred and will continue to worsen with less state funding. I also heard today that there's a proposed $5,000 increase to out-of-state tuition. This will adversely affect graduate student and professional student recruitment, as graduate students pay out-of-state tuition for the first year if they're from out of state. And bringing in these students is crucial to maintaining a diversified population at the UC system. The increase in $5,000 to out-of-state tuition will create a very real barrier to recruiting excellent graduate and professional students. So with that, I thank you for staying to hear our comments, and again, urge you to increase UC funding by $100 million. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair McCarty. I'm Marianne Massenberg with the UAW. We represent 20,000 academic student workers at UC and CSU, the people who are graduate student and undergraduate teaching assistants, readers, and tutors. There are many issues, as you know, where we disagree with UC, including the proposed tuition increase, bargaining rights for RAs, but we're here today to agree with UC about additional funding and with CSU. Our members are on the front lines of teaching undergraduates. Our members teach the discussion sections in most of the courses at UC and CSU. And we have seen firsthand over the last several years of declining increases from the state, the impact of that on quality education. We've seen larger class sizes. We've seen our members unable to accept additional students as well as the faculty, and that results, as you know, in students not being able to get their courses and not being able to graduate on time. So we appreciate very much the time you're taking with this, and we support fully the adequate funding of higher ed in California. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, thank you for your time and your patience. My name is Dave Butler. I'm Executive Vice President of Sacramento Metro Chamber and also CEO of the Chamber's Educational Workforce Affiliate called Next Ed. In our region, UC Davis, Sacramento State, and our community college campuses are critical components of our region's economic competitiveness strategy called Next Economy. Our campuses have a shared agenda to cultivate business and employment growth in key industry sectors in which the Capital Region has a competitive edge. And all across California, UC, CSU, and community colleges play an essential role in research, technology transfer, cultivating small business, and preparing students for critical careers that create prosperity not just for the state, but for themselves, their families, and their communities. A healthy, prosperous UC and CSU and community college system is fundamental to a healthy and prosperous California. And we ask for your support for full funding for CSU, UC, and community colleges. Just on a personal aside, Chairman McCarty, I just came from Sacramento State. The Asian Chamber was hosting a internship development program. Out of 20 recent graduates in the room, 18 took them 6 years to graduate. We need to do better, and we can. So thank you.
Mr. Chair and members of the subcommittee, I'm Michelle Wong, the CEO of Clean World. Though I'm a UC Davis alum and parent, I talk to you today as a business person. I respectfully request that you make more funding for UC available and a priority in this year's budget. For businesses like ours, UC plays a critical role in ensuring that we meet workforce needs in the fastest growing areas of our economy, such as healthcare, biotech, and clean tech, ag, and engineering. UC students and faculties make discoveries and innovation that lead to businesses growing and being founded here in California. Our company is one such example We licensed an anaerobic digestion technology that was invented by a UC Davis faculty member. Using microbes in large oxygen-deprived tanks, the technology converts organic waste into renewable energy. We've built the first 3 solid waste anaerobic digestion facilities in California, and last year unveiled the UC Davis Renewable Energy Anaerobic Digestion Facility at the campus's former landfill. We're converting 40,000 tons per year of campus and community food and ag waste into clean energy for the campus's electrical grid. This is just one example of how UC's research drives innovation and, together with companies like ours, helps California's economy grow. As both a parent of a UCD junior and an alum who now works closely with the university and has benefited tremendously from that relationship, I implore you to do what you can to provide additional support for UC. Thanks for your time.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Sar Basra. I'm a farmer from Sutter County, and I'm a graduate of UC Davis and the community college up there in our neck of the woods, Yuba College. And I got to tell you that education has benefited me, and I was asked to come here and speak in the public comment section. And the one statement that, you know, they're all very good, but the one statement that really stuck out in my mind was there was a speaker that spoke about the long-term vision, how we as a state and as a nation had invested in education and thought about the value of that education over the long haul. And every year we're looking at budget crises, but we've kind of taken our eyes off the ball, which when you look at this global economy, we really need to refocus on a long-term vision. And not knowing the details of this budget or not knowing the details of what, you know, what takes place in legislative committees, I'm sure that's still the case, but we do need to look at the long-term goals of how we can value that education, be competitive, and aside from being competitive, it's sort of a human necessity that we learn, and from our knowledge we grow, and you know, we're taking care of 7 or 8 billion people on the planet now, and the demands and the needs of knowledge are greater now than ever. So I think when you put that in perspective of a long-term vision for the state of California, I think we're going to be ahead of the game. So thank you.
Thank you. Nice way to end our hearing. Thank you, sir. Well, with that, we will adjourn this hearing, and we will be back in a few short weeks to go over in greater detail each segment's budget.